Hello, welcome to your reading. So, I'm not really sure what wants to come through. Now, I did Libra's reading before this. It also came out this week. Um, and I feel like I need to say, if you feel drawn to watch that reading, go ahead and watch it too. Um, Even if you don't feel like you have, even if you're not a Libra, at least as far as, with your with your birth chart and stuff, which there's a free link down below to look at your birth chart. Um, and I've used that in the past as well. But you could have Libra placements in your chart somewhere. So if you feel drawn to go and watch that video, even if you are not a Libra anywhere, but you feel like you're drawn to watch that message, please go ahead and do so. Oh, excuse me. Whew. All right. Excuse me. I was trying to hold it back and then it didn't want to hold back. All right. So yeah. Um, I do feel like I need to say that if you need to watch that video. But Libra's reading, I really felt like this really calm energy all throughout it. And I was curious to see if it, went into your reading as well, and also Pisces, who I'm going to be doing right after this one. And I can say it actually doesn't feel the same way. There might be a calmness to it, but this is why I'm like, okay, sometimes some energies travel through like each zodiac reading and can come through in different ways. So I'm not really picking up a calmness that's the same as with Libra. This is a very interesting feeling, Aquarius. I kind of feel like there's a knowing to this energy. Like, do you kind of know the outcome of something, or like a more possible outcome of something that you may be working towards, and maybe that's why we're so calm? Let's go ahead and get the cards. See what this is all about. I feel like that one wants to come through. Okay. We have the High Priest coming out, which is the Hierophant. The Hierophant in the Rider-Waite Tarot. Okay, something wanted to come through, but it didn't quite pop out. Um, but it's the High Priest in this deck. So I do feel like there's some connection here with the divine, some spiritual connection that you have. And if it's not something that you actually like work with, like whether you do tarot like this or some other spiritual form of practice you do, or even if you're more religious than spiritual, I feel like your guides are kind of helping this knowing. There's some connection here. Let's keep going though. All right. We have the shadow side popping out here. So this card is unique. Actually, I'll hold it up a little longer. This card is unique to this deck, and this replaces the Devil card. Let's just keep going so I can get a full picture. We have King of Swords popping out, Seven of Cups, Justice, the Hanged Man, Five of Cups, and King of Pentacles. Okay. Excuse me one moment while I grab a tissue. All right. So right away, what I'm seeing is you having a lot of options, a lot of choices. And there may be some struggle in your mind. I kind of feel like with this shadow side here, there's others at play who are kind of getting in your head a little bit. And this may be clouding some of your judgment when making the right decision for yourself. And with the King of Swords here, I kind of feel like this is your own judgment really trying to come through and make the best, like your own mind really trying to come through and make the best decision for you. And then I do see justice as at play here. Maybe this is legal justice for some, but I kind of feel more like spiritual justice, where it's like the divine is really trying to help you gain a different perspective with this Hanged Man card. So you can really perceive things in a better way. And so with the Five of Cups here, what I'm really feeling is you knowing what it is that you need to do. And some of that choice is kind of painful to make. But then we step into the King of Pentacles here, where we are really in charge and stable. And we have this foundation for us. And I really feel like this is within your own internal self. Like that's really what's coming through. That's the feeling that I'm getting. And I do read off of like feelings a lot of the time and not just the meaning of the cards. So yeah, that's really what's coming through. I hope that resonates with somebody here. If this is something legal, I kind of feel like there's a knowing of the outcome that it's going to take. And this may be a legal thing that you don't really want to do, but you kind of have to. It's kind of, I feel like there's something here that you're going through, Aquarius, that, and I feel like it's different for everybody, so I'm not really able to pinpoint exactly what it is. But there's something here that I kind of feel like you were just kind of put in this situation. This wasn't really a choice, but now you're being forced to make certain choices, gain different perspectives. Some of you here may work with a deity who is resembled with, or who is has a symbol of a raven or a crow. And so know that deity that you work with is helping you here gain a new perspective. And I say that because there is what appears to be a raven here at the top of the tree looking down at the Hanged Man. Yeah, so I think Spirit's advice here is like you can listen to others' advice, but really what it comes down to is your own choices, okay? Um, and what you believe is really best for you, what you feel is really best for you. Otherwise, if you keep dwelling on other people's thoughts and feelings, then it's going to be like this shadow side here where it's look how kind of chaotic and hard this is for these two people. They're trying to hide from this cloaked figure. They're trying to get away from that cloaked figure, and it's kind of like you're trying to get away from other people's energy. And so I really think there needs to be some boundaries set here. And if maybe if there isn't other people like feeding you their own opinions and stuff, then this is probably just showing how heavy these choices are on your mind. And so then Spirit really encourages you to work on quieting that mind. Work on quieting all of those thoughts. Meditation helps. Having a time where it's just you and you're working on something creative. It's kind of like trying to channel that energy that's kind of stuck in your mind towards something else. So then it's not just stuck up here. Um, Maybe some of you need to like journal, get all the thoughts out, and that can really help release it. That's the whole point, is like we need to release that. And that's really going to help our mind pick the right solution. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into the oracle cards here. Ooh. All right, I feel like this one as well. Yeah, not these ones, because these ones were actually, they slipped out of my hand. Not that they're actually part of the reading. Okay, so yeah, wow, all right. And divine guidance. You are being divinely guided here. Connect with your spirituality, connect with God, connect whoever it is that you worship, who you work with. And if you are not somebody who typically prays, maybe now is the time, and just be like, I don't work with anybody. I don't usually do this kind of thing, but here I am reaching out in some way. Just please hear me speak what it is that you want to bring into existence. Speak your mind, speak your troubles. Okay, they're listening. Your spirit team, at the very least, is listening. Okay, they are helping you down a path toward your destiny, toward your purpose. I'm also seeing conviction here, and this is really making me think with the Justice card and more legality. So I feel like if that resonates for somebody here, then know that your team is really helping to bring some justice in for you, along with crisis also on this card. But there's a sense of fate here for you, for the collective here. Okay. We have anchor popping up here. This is tied with the stability that we're talking about and how stability is going to be coming into your life. You're persevering through this challenge right now. You have the advantage on this challenge. Definitely. And then we also have trophy popping out here with victory. Victory, success, recognition, a big win, achievement, and ambition. With child here, we are talking about new beginnings. Something brand new coming in. This is also tied to creativity. And this is now where I'm kind of getting that calmness coming in, where I feel like some of you may know an outcome on something, like you just know. And so we're kind of having a little bit more of this carefree energy coming in. Though you may be kind of in this in between of like being able to relax, but also, there's a part of your nervous system still on alert, because our system hasn't quite caught up yet, okay, if that makes sense. Um, so I kind of feel like you're a little bit in the in between. if you're if some of and I'm not really sure if that's going to be for everybody here. I really don't think it is. I think that's for some of you where you're kind of in this in between. Some of you are still struggling, but then there's another chunk of you here who have really stepped in this in between. But regardless, there's going to be this in between for everybody eventually, okay? But I'm also getting a such a self-care vibe from this as well, because I see the word tender and I heard being tender with yourself. Being more tender with yourself. We have stalemate coming through. This makes me feel like it's tied to the Justice card. It's like something between you and somebody else. If it's not something legal, then I kind of feel like this is between you and the past, you and your own mind, you and others' opinions. Okay. With birds here, we do have communication popping out here, and like debates, discussions. Ooh, we have texts and calls. Are you getting a lot of those from other people? I feel like I wanted to pick up this card that's on top here with magnifying glass. Okay. Yeah, we're needing to clear our minds so then we can go ahead and get more clarity, get more info on something important. I also feel like another card, more about communication with the bridge and connecting, uniting with others, overcoming barriers, bringing in a sense of harmony. The bridge also talks about compromise, but then we have stalemate here with refusing to compromise. So maybe if this is between you and another person, especially if it's legal, it's kind of like this energy of like, I really feel like it's more so you wanting to compromise, though it could be reversed, but more so you wanting to compromise and then the other person refusing to compromise. Like I said, it can be reversed depending on your situation, but I feel like majority here want to compromise with somebody or something. Okay. And then we have Dumble Rainbow. More about divine intervention, more about blessings coming through. This is all happening at the perfect time, and good luck being on your side. There's also a sense of duality here, too. All right, let's go ahead and get some more cards. I like that one. And this one. And that one. And then okay. We have, okay, this card, every time it comes up, I'm not really sure if I'm saying it right, but Anamkara. And this is talking about unconditional love. It could be romantic. Maybe that is the issue. Like it's between you and a person you've been romantic with that you're having an issue with. Um, Something about soulmates here. Now, soulmates doesn't have to just be romantic. It can really be like a really good close friend. Um, because we also have best friends popping up here. Infinite love, affection. But this can also talk about unconditional love for yourself as well. Yeah. I was kind of getting like legality around a like a possible divorce or an intense breakup of some kind. And if things were too toxic, I do feel like this is encouraging you to have more love for yourself. This can symbolize the love that you used to have with this person. This can also symbolize love that you and this person may still have for each other, but you're needing to make really hard decisions. There may be still discussions that you need to have with this person to gain more clarity. And maybe figure out the best outcome, the best way to approach things. There's definitely an uncommon bond here between you and this person. This may also be for some of you an uncommon bond between like you and a place. Like I'm kind of picking up on an energy here where you're making a hard decision about moving away from a place that you've really loved for a long time. So just take what resonates because that's not going to be for everybody. Um, but yeah, something like that. We also have constellation here, more about support and networking, more about communication and connecting. So this could be, if this is like a tough legal situation, then this could be like getting the support and help that you need to get that best outcome that you see. And maybe you've already done that. Um, but I'm also really getting like whether this is a bad situation or not that you're in. Again, situation is going to be different for everybody. I do see you connecting with new people, making um, deeper connections with people who really feel like they accept you for who you are. You really feel like you fit in. Yeah. We also have yoga, definitely. Like what we were talking about, needing that place for yourself, a time for yourself where you can relax and meditate, to breathe, to find your center, to take a break. Really time to go within and do a deep reflection and really aligning with your chakras and balancing those out. And then we also have roadblock, yeah. Okay. So there may have been roadblocks that you've been facing along the way, depending on what your situation is. It's again going to be different for everybody. But this is temporary. Roadblocks are temporary, okay? You can't be blocked forever. Eventually that block needs to clear. So it feels like you've been stuck for quite a long time, which is why your nervous system has probably been on edge. Um, there's been some challenges, but it's really time to regroup yourself, your energy, your support team, even. And this is really going to help you get past this roadblock and on a clearer path. You may have been taking detours along your path as well. Okay. Anything else, Spirit? No, I really think that's it. Just encouragement around making sure that you are taking the time that you need for this reflection, for a sense of calm. And if you're already trying to work on that, then know that that is being very much encouraged by Spirit, saying that you're doing the right thing, that we don't need to continue working so hard, and that, yeah, you're meeting the right people, or you're going to be meeting the right people, and there's just this loving energy that's coming in. And maybe you're already seeing that, you're already feeling that. And yeah, know that this roadblock isn't going to be around forever. Okay. Let's go ahead and get some affirmation cards. A chunk of that wanted to come out, and then I feel like this one as well. So let's go ahead with this chunk that popped out. I am the dreamer of my dream. There is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. My energy creates my reality. My energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. I recognize that I have chosen fear, but I choose again. I choose love. And then last but not least, we have the moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. Okay. So, Aquarius, I really hope that this all helped you. That's all I'm seeing that Spirit has for you guys today. Thank you so much for coming by and listening to this reading. If you liked it and you felt like it resonated with you, you can go ahead and leave a like down below. You can comment, subscribe. In the description, there is also links to my TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So if you'd like to follow me on those platforms, it's greatly appreciated. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for coming by. I'm sending you so much love, healing, and blessings your way. I am wishing you all the best, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!